What is up guys, this is Tito back with another video on the Redmi Note 10 Pro finally, and today in this video I'm going to be showing you the latest build of the RiceDroid version 8.6 based on Android 13 December 2022 build, but for some reason it comes with November security patch. I know that's a disappointment, but there are a lot of pros for this ROM, so I'll talk about that. But let me tell you, if you want to flash this ROM on your device, the links will be present in the description. First things first, let me show you the about section. For that, you just click here in this picture, and inside Android version, we have this RiceDroid written right there, and we got some specs, and here it shows device is officially supported. The device is of course Sweet or Redmi Note 10 Pro, and I have an Indian Redmi Note 10 Pro by the way, and the Android version here it shows 13, and this name is Tiramisu, and if you click on it or keep tapping on it, as you can see, if you make this clock to 1 o'clock, you will get the Android 13's Easter egg if you want all of those. Let me go back. The RiceDroid version here is 8.6 Macapuno GApps version, and if you're noticing the Android security patch, well, that is November 2022. Quite disappointing to see that because this is a December build, but yeah, maybe in future we'll get a December security patch update. You can see the build version from right here, and we have the stock kernel as the 4.14 Sleepy kernel. Talking about the system settings, you will get it right here. We do have a system updater, and you can check for updates, I guess, from here. For some reason it shows update check failed. Let me go back. In the gestures, we got some gestures like the double tap gesture and stuff. The swipe direct screenshot is also there, and that is actually working fine. We have the share, edit, delete, and the Google Lens feature. Also the capture mode appears when there is a lot of scrolling space. We have the quickly open camera, the system navigation gestures. In the settings of it, we have this immersive navigation, navigation hint, back gesture animation, back gesture haptic, swipe to invoke assistant, and we also have the pill length customization, and I have increased to the fullest. This is how it looks like with the full length of the pill bar. 2-button and 3-button navigations are also there, and we got some settings for it. We have the one-handed mode too, that is working fine. We have the press and hold power button, and if you go into it, we can enable it for assistant. Now here in the system, we got some system profiles or thermal profiles, you can say. We have this benchmark and the browser, camera, dialer, gaming, streaming, etc. options for each app. In the button settings, we have the enable taskbar, invert layout, and the edge long swipe actions, and there are plethora of options for that. We have the power menu options, like inside over here we can enable the advanced reboot if you want. Let me go back. We have the long press power button, toggle torch, automatically turn off torch option is also there, and we got some other settings like the control playback, show volume panel on the left side, click to take partial screenshot. All these things are present inside these buttons. You can already guess this ROM has amazing amount of customizations. Now let's talk about the most important part of this ROM. Well, that is, in my opinion, the stock camera. Well, you are getting two cameras right out of the box, but you will also get this Leica camera, the Leica MIUI camera, you can say. And with this camera, everything is amazing, except the performance, I would say, is a little glitchy. Here in the video settings, surprisingly, you will find the 4K 60 FPS option. Well, I was surprised to see that, but afterwards my surprises were blown into the water because this one does not actually work. You can switch to the 4K 60 FPS, but if you shoot a video, it does not save that particular video. So yeah, up to 4K 30 FPS is working perfectly fine. You should not worry about it. Also, the super macro lens is working fine. Let me show you. As you can see in the viewfinder, yes, the super macro lens is working fine. And with the super macro, you can shoot up to 1080p 60 FPS over here. If you're noticing, let me just disable that. And if I switch to the other lenses, yes, the 2x zooming option is working fine. And the ultra wide angle lens is also working fine here, if you're noticing. And there is the documents mode, and you can go with the enhanced mode and stuff for the documents. And in the pro mode too, you can shoot videos, and that too is working up to 4K 30 FPS. You should not expect 4K 60 FPS on this device. But yes, you can of course customize all these things like the ISO, the lens, white balance, the focus, everything you can customize, including with the shutter speed and stuff. Let me show you. If you click on this Leica, we can see Leica Vibrant and Leica Authentic. Two options are there. There are even more options. We have the flashlight, then we have the HDR options, then we have the AI option, and we have this motion kind of photo over here, dynamic shots, the Google Lens option, and even the night mode or the low light portrait mode is there. And here into the photo settings, we have this palm shutter, voice shutter, and we have the super macro lens again, time burst, and all the other features. But let me tell you, you can actually disable this Leica interface if you want. From right here, it shows this Leica interface. You can actually disable it. And we have other options like this Xiaomi Pro Cut and stuff. And we have this remove moles option. And there are huge amount of options for these. Enhance image quality options. And we have the volume shutter. You can actually switch to timer, zoom, or the normal volume, and the tap to take photo. The customization options are there, and again camera modes you can of course switch. The location and the sound you can actually disable. If you scroll down more, there are huge amount of options like the 720p bitrate. You can actually set custom bitrate for each video recording. We can set 1080p bitrate from right here, and yes, it will increase the clarity a little bit I guess, and in the saturation you can put it to high or the highest and lower and stuff. So all those things you can customize from here. Also there is this 10-bit HEVC recording, so that is huge I would say. You should not be relying on these. These are again experimental, it may or may not work. And again you can see all the settings which are present over here. Amazing camera, but then again I'll talk about it later. But yeah, let me switch to the front camera. Yes, the portrait mode. Yeah, portrait mode pictures are working fine. Just notice I just clicked on it and this is how the picture actually looks like. And if I zoom it in, just notice the quality is good enough I would say, and the background bokeh is perfectly fine. And yes, this is a 16 megapixel photo if you are noticing. So yeah, the details are great. I also took other photos. Let me actually show you in this photo. I have taken a 64 megapixel shot, and yes, 64 megapixel is actually working over here if you're noticing the details of it. And yes, the 61 megapixel photos are actually working fine. That is great to see. And if you swipe up, there are even more options like the short video, the panorama, vlog mode, vlog pro, slow motion, and the time lapse, sticker, avatars, and we have this movie effect, AI watermark, long exposure, and all these other options you can see from right here. If I'm shooting a video, as you can see, the camera was stuck for a moment, and let me just click on record. Yeah, it is recording, but just notice that choppiness. This is what I was talking about. There is a little bit of choppiness here and there. So yeah, as you can see, it is playing the video fine right now, but for twice it actually was paused for some reason. Overall in the UI, I have seen a lot of glitchiness I would say. There is one more camera, that is this lineage based kind of camera. You can shoot videos, you can shoot photos with it, and there are multiple options like this 0.66 or ultra wide angle lens option and stuff. All these options are there, but let me tell you that even you can shoot macro mode photos over here with this, but I don't know who would use this camera when there is the MIUI camera present by default. I have also installed Gcam Shamim version, and with that we have the macro and wide angle lens and stuff. And I've talked about the camera. Let's talk about the stock launcher. Well, you are getting the Sushi launcher present by default here. By the way, recent panel looks like this. You can take a screenshot from right here, you can pin a particular app, clear all the apps and clear one app, and we have this RAM status right there on the bottom. And in the settings of it, the home screen settings, we have the icon pack customization. We got the home screen customization. We have the lock layout, double tap to sleep, and the wallpaper scrolling, wallpaper zooming, swipe to access Google app, the status bar option, the dark status bar option. Let me scroll down. We have even more stuff right here, even the themed icons. Let me go back. We have the app drawer. In here, we have the all apps themed icon, enable disable app drawer search bar, and the show icon labels in drawer and stuff. Let me go back. We have the MISC settings. In here we have the suggestion disabling option, enable haptic feedback on recent scroll, that is great. And we have the hidden and protected apps right here, and we have the about section of the Sushi launcher. Now yes, on this particular launcher the battery widget is working great. That is great to see. You can just tap here and go into the phone's battery settings, and you can just tap here to go into the Bluetooth battery settings. For the other widgets, yes, the Google clock widget and stuff, they are working fine, and just notice the animations are working perfectly fine. Even I have tried to add even more widgets, they are working fine. Swiping up will get you to the app drawer. You can search for any particular app. There is also this audio effects if you want to use that. Swiping down will get you to the quick setting panel, and this is how it looks like in the light theme. The quick setting panel stays light, looks good. We have the dark theme, the flashlight, auto rotate, night light, always on display toggle option, and I have added multiple of them like the do not disturb, refresh rate toggle, airplane mode, etc., data saver, heads up, extra dim, battery saver, screen recording is also there. You can record the device audio and microphone audio at the same time. I have enabled the HEVC option for efficient screen recording, I would say, and we have the hotspot. Then we have the other toggles, but let me tell you, you should add this refresh rate toggle right after you flash this ROM, and you should change the refresh rate to 120 Hz forcefully. By default, it stays 60 to 120 Hz automatic. With that, the UI actually feels much more stuttery. I don't know, like for about 1 day of usage, after flashing this ROM, my experience was not that good because of the auto refresh rate. Right after I switched to 120 Hz, the experience was better, but definitely I was on the Corvus OS Android 12 build. Coming from that, I can say this ROM does not feel as much snappy as the Corvus OS was, in my personal opinion, I would say. And here in the power menu, this is how it looks. If you tap on restart, you can get the directly rebooting option to recovery or fast boot from right here if you have enabled the advanced reboot from the settings. Jumping into the settings panel again, this is how it looks like. It gives you some random messages if you enable it from the settings. Right now it shows good evening, and in the personalization we have the customization. It says welcome to your kitchen, some random touches I would say, and we have the device center right here. You will get the block sensor options per app, and we have the game space option. You can add any game that you want to. The Scarlet services is there. This is kind of system manager it shows over here. I don't know what it does, some power saving kind of things, but yeah, this option is there. We have the sleep mode too. You can use it as you want to, like turn off location, turn off sensors. If you want to do those, you can just turn the sleep mode on from here. Then inside lock screen, we have the ambient display customization, and in here we have the edge lighting, and you can change the colors to solid or faded. And we have this edge lighting duration, and inside additional settings, we have this pickup option is actually working fine. Battery bar when charging and always show battery bar option. I have enabled both of them. You can enable the always on display if you want, of course. Then we have the battery info. That is just the charging info I feel. And we have the lock screen shortcuts, power menu, ripple effect, temperature unit, everything you can customize from right here in the lock screen. In the MISC settings, we have the pocket mode, the smart pixels, and even the weather customization. Then we have the Netflix spoof, unlock higher FPS in games. Also the unlimited Google photo storage is present over here. In the notification panel, we have the blur media background and the other options like the force stop button, heads up, you can disable, use pop-up notification, and the blink flashlight for incoming call, clear all notification button and stuff is there. In the quick setting, we have the auto brightness icon, the battery percentage, you can have it next or like to the icon, and we have this follow battery style over here. And we have the other options like the quick pull down, quick setting, quick pull down and stuff, footer alerts. Then we have the data usage, and we also have the other things like the hide label options and stuff, tile alignment, etc. In the status bar, we have the 4G icon, the background chip. This is the background chip you can see, and we have the battery style. You can change it between these many options. Again, plethora of options are there, and we have the battery percentage option, the brightness control by sliding a finger on the status bar, and the clock and date customization are also there. Colored icons, location privacy indicator, then the old mobile data type icon and stuff. All these things are there, including with the status bar icons. Inside sound and vibration, we have this adaptive playback, and I have enabled it. It actually is working fine. We have this vibrate on connect and the other in-call vibrations. Even we have this pulse option for music and stuff. In the user interface, we got some font customization, and in here again you will get plethora of fonts. Just notice how many options are there for the fonts. And yes, there is the nothing dot font enabled by default for the lock screen. Here we have the icon packs. These are the icon packs you will get, and we have some Monet theme engine settings like this Monet themes. You can go with the vivid colors if you want. Also, there is the paint in the snow, espresso, and the default option as well. Let me go back. We have the navbar styles, and these are the navbar styles you can get. And we have the power menu style. You can go with the light, classic, grid, and the legacy one. And I like the fact that the power menu you can actually change to the older kind of look. As you can see right now, it shows the very old kind of power menu. You can tap on restart. It will show you directly rebooting option to recovery just like this, or advanced reboot just like this. These are the customizations I would say you do not find in any other custom ROM. We have the screen off animation, and we have the signal icon styles as well, and plethora of signal icon styles as you can see. Even the system icons, there are amazing amount of options, including with the Wi-Fi icons, again amazing amount of options. And I know the customization panel in this ROM is huge, but stay with me. We have this custom lock screen clock color. You can actually change it from right here, I guess. We have the about phone style. You can change it to centered wallpaper banner big and stuff. And we have the contextual home page, and it requires a restart. Here it shows we have the settings background style. You can go with pixel compact, or RiceDroid and stuff. And we also have the search bar style. You can go with the pixel and the other options. Even the setting style, you can go with other options like these. By default, it's in Sushi or Legacy Oxygen OS. So that's pretty much it about the customizations. I know this was a huge amount of options. In the display settings, we have the brightness level, adaptive or auto brightness. In the lock screen, we again get the display media cover art, show QR scanner and stuff. Then we have the double line clock. Google Home controls are there. Wake screen for notification. You can disable it for convenience. And we have the dark theme customization, and of course we have the pitch black option or pure black option. And if you scroll down, we have the live display, and in here you can set it to outdoor bright sun mode, and the anti-flicker mode is also there. The color calibration you can actually customize. The picture adjustment, you also have that option if you want that. The colors, I have changed it to saturated. Let me go back. We have this rotation settings. You can enable it if you want, and the smooth display is enabled by default, I guess. And we have the double tap to wake, the allow blur levels. And we have the double tap to wake up on plug, and the full screen apps. In the wallpapers and styles, this is how it looks like. You can change the wallpapers from here. By the way, I have been using a Wallpy app wallpaper on this ROM, and from here you can change the wallpaper colors if you want, and the basic colors. And we have the dark themed icons, or the system kind of icons you can change from right here. And we have the app grid. You can set the app grid up to 6:10. I don't know who would use that. I have been using with the 5:5. In the battery settings, this is how it looks like again. And in here, I would say you do not get to see the battery charging cycle, the current battery capacity, decent battery capacity. All those things are simply missing. We only have the battery temperature, but we do have this green kind of looking battery bar. Looks beautiful. It actually changes colors when the battery is too low. I guess it goes red. But let me show you. I have been using with the Akku battery app, and with that, I've got a screen on time of just about 6 hours. I don't know why it is so low, but that is how it is. And in the health section, if you notice, my battery health shows as 84%. So yeah, the battery life, I did not really enjoy it here, because in other ROMs, I have seen the battery life goes above 8 hours. But on this particular ROM, I'm only getting 6 to 7 hours of screen on time. A bummer, I would say, but yes, I can say that performance is not that great. Also, the battery life is not that great in here, in my usage at least. The fast charging has been working perfectly fine, I would say. I did not face major issues with fast charging on this ROM. I like the charging animation on this ROM. Inside sound and vibration, this is how it looks. We have the media, call, ring, etc. volume controls. And if you scroll down more, we have the vibration and haptics. The clear speaker option is also there. And the charging sound, charging vibration, etc. options are there. We have the dial pad tones and stuff. And in the Mi Sound Enhancer, we have this youth edition. And we have even more options like the Bluetooth headphone options. And the sound quality with the headphone jack, Bluetooth, the earpiece and the speakers was great. We have the smart scene option. Then the sound preset options are also there. And the hi-fi option is also there. Sound quality, I did not face major issues at all. Here we have the haptic feedback intensity, and you can customize it from right here. If you just keep it like this is what I like over here. The haptic feedback right now is very good in my experience if you just put it like that. Per app volume control is there. We have the show media controller on volume panel, and even you can change the volume panel style to Realme UI, RiceDroid style, and the default one. Default one looks like this, and you can switch the volume from right here. The animation looks like this, and again it shows the percentage. You can put the phone into vibrate or silent from right here. This is the default one, and the Realme one looks like this, and again you can expand it and you can switch the output device, and this is how it looks if you increase or decrease the volume. And with the RiceDroid style, this is how it looks like. In the security, in the settings of it, we have the touch fingerprint unlock and the quick unlock. We have the face unlock option. So let me just hit next, and let's just set up the face unlock quickly. And after you set up face unlock, you get this option when swiping up on lock screen or when the lock screen turned on. So I'll just go with when swiping up on lock screen, and I have added the 2 fingerprints already. Let me show you the AppLock, and once you go into the AppLock settings, this is how it looks. You can go into the protect apps, and this is how the AppLock is. And there is a Google Photos and stuff, you should not worry about it. And the auto lock timeout is there. We have this enable biometric unlock. Let me just double tap on the blank area of the home screen so that the phone goes to sleep. And if I just tap the fingerprint scanner, as you can see, it unlocks, but it took some time. Let me show you one more time. Yeah, right now it unlocked fine. Yeah, the fingerprint scanner has been working perfectly great, but yeah, sometimes I feel it's a little choppy. And here, this is how the lock screen looks like, by the way, and this is how the always on display should look like. We have the battery bar on the bottom. I have enabled it always, and this is how the lock screen clock looks like in the always on display. Again, a beautiful look overall. And just by double tapping over here, yes, the double tap to wake is working fine, but just notice sometimes it is a little choppy. Right now it's fine again. Let me tap the fingerprint scanner, and yeah, it unlocks. Now let me show you the face unlock speed, and for that I have to swipe up, and once I do that, it is using the front camera, you can see, and it is unlocking. Let me try one more time. Yeah, the face unlock speed is pretty fast. By the way, once you are using the front camera, there is that big black border, so it will be helpful in video calls and stuff. Right now let me show you the AppLock. This is how it looks, and if you just tap the fingerprint scanner, as you can see, it unlocks. So the AppLock I did not face any issues with. Now let's talk about the performance of this ROM. Well, let me tell you, the performance of this ROM was not the best that I have seen. Yes, it is good enough, I would say, but definitely it is slower than some other ROMs that I have used previously, like the Corvus and stuff. Yes, that is on Android 12, but still I would say I have experienced better Android 13 ROMs in my frank opinion. Just notice there is that choppiness here and there. And here, if I go into the Chrome, and it is already running at 120 Hz. So overall, yes, the performance I have seen, it is going a little bit choppy here and there. and if you do some heavy task in the background, the UI will almost feel stuttery or jittery. But overall, here are the Android Geekbench score with a CPU stress test on this particular build if you want to get an idea about the performance of this ROM. By the way, if you're wondering if the IR Blaster and stuff is working or not, yes, the IR Blaster is working fine on this ROM. The DRM info stays as L1, so you can stream Netflix or Amazon Prime videos in 1080p here. Also, the Safetynet passes right out of the box, so using banking apps was not a problem at all for me. So overall, what do I feel about this particular ROM? I would say yes, this is a good ROM with a MIUI camera and stuff. It has huge amount of customizations. But for me personally, I cannot really daily drive on this ROM because of the performance, and the battery life is not that great. I have seen better battery life with other ROMs. The core OS that I used was about 1.81 GB. This ROM is about 2.2 GB. Here it shows it's about 2 GB, I guess. This file explorer shows a little bit increased file sizes, and this extended ROM that has been released after this RiceDroid ROM is below 1.5 GB, which also includes the MIUI camera. I'll try to flash it. I'll try to experience that ROM too. I'll make a video about that. But overall, I would say I have seen better battery life, better performance from my Android 13 ROM than this one. But yes, I cannot deny this one has huge amount of customizations, which I haven't even seen in other custom ROMs. So I'll give this ROM about a 7 out of 10 in my experience overall. Let me know in the comments what do you guys think. Share this video with your friends if you want them to know about the latest RiceDroid ROM based on Android 13 for the Redmi Note 10 Pro. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. This is Tito from KDN Tech signing off for today. I'll be catching you guys in the next one. Bye now.